In knowing that, was there ever any evidence of your cancer? Were you ever given any sort of formal like photo, or did they outline it? They show you that?
Yeah, so for me, it was a little different, right? So Dre really didn't have anything he said he was feeling, but for me, I couldn't breathe.
Wow.
And then I'm sure you saw I lost that weight.
Yeah.
It's a weight loss. It was the breathing. And then I felt some tingly feeling under the arms, but again, something I've not felt different before, because your lymph nodes swell outside of cancer.
Mm-hmm.
That's not anything that's uncommon. So
okay, so this was something that you experienced, and you had symptoms, and they were strong,
right?
But you didn't have symptoms
at all.
Okay, so where were you when you got the word?
Do you remember? I got the word, what was I? I'm trying to think if I was in the locker room or not. I don't know if I was in the locker room or I was at the hospital, because they called me back in to kind of tell me what was going on. So I think I was at the hospital and they told me what was going on. And I was like, what? I couldn't believe it, man. I just couldn't believe it. My mom couldn't believe it either, because like I said, I was fine. Like I was doing everything I was usually doing every day, like just living my life. And they hit me with that. I was like, what? And it just caught me off guard.
Okay. And where were you? Like physically, where were you at whenever you got the word?
So we were in the house. Actually, we were watching like Jimmy Kimmel YouTube videos, laughing. And bro, I literally was laughing so hard I passed out. And I literally blanked out, bro. And that's really all I remember. And I remember coming to, and my wife was yelling, like, you blacked out, you passed out. So she called 911. And then we ended up going to the hospital. And they were like, yeah, we're going to keep you for a little while longer. And I ended up staying there for a week.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a week. And then after that, it's like, yeah, it's not pneumonia, it's not this, it's not that. So they were just trying to take things off the chart, okay, it's not this, it's not that. We're going to do a few more tests. And then they were like, yeah, we're going to refer you to someone who knows a little bit more about what's going on.
Okay. So I know that anyone facing almost certain life-threatening diagnosis, who was there for you? Like, how did you make it through it? Because here's the thing. You're playing in the NFL. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you're under some contract. Yeah. You are required to perform. Mm-hmm. How does a professional football player say, okay, I can't play football, I need to focus on beating cancer?
Yeah, that was hard for me, man. Like that was real hard for me. Thank God for my mom. My mom was there for me. Definitely, she was there for me. And we talked all the time about like I said, I don't think I had cancer. So we talked all the time about like me just getting rid of the stuff going on in my brain, because that was the only thing that really affected me. My brain was affecting me, so I had to get rid of stuff in my brain. Mm-hmm. So I did everything I could to get my brain back right. So I just made sure I was meditating all the time, sleeping right, like just eating the right way, just doing everything I can to get the stuff off my brain, because that was the only thing that really happened to me. Mm. And I wouldn't even worry about the cancer, to be honest. Cancer didn't even really affect me. Like I was here trying to get my brain back right.
So I remember Eric Berry. I think he had.
I talked to him before. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I talked to him before.
Okay, so he's free safety, I guess, for the Chiefs. Was the latest team that he played for. Is he still in the game? Is he?
No, I don't think he retired. I think he's just not in the game anymore.
Okay, so I'm looking at Eric Berry, right? Because of course I followed you, man, and I've seen your story, and it was incredibly inspired by it. But I'm thinking, how does Eric Berry and Jeroy Hal just? Okay, all right, cancer. I'm not worried about that. I'm just push. Mm-hmm. Like, what was there that drove you? Like, what was it that said, I'm not going to let cancer stop me. I'm not going to let cancer beat me? Because, like, the way you talk about it, man, it's like I wasn't even worried about that. I was worried about fixing whatever was going on in my brain. So what was it inside of you that, like, helped you push through? I
think it was just who I am, man. Like how I was raised, how my mom raised, how my dad raised me. Like I just grew up like I can do what I want to do. Like whatever's in my mind, I can definitely do it. And I feel like cancer is just like something like just on the side. Like I didn't ever really take it seriously. Like I was like, okay, well, it's cancer. Okay, let me go ahead and beat this stuff. Or what would they say I got? Let me go ahead and beat this stuff. Because I got, like I said, I felt like I was fine. I didn't go through I didn't feel anything. Like nothing really like scared me to feel like I was like how Landon had like those symptoms. Like I had no symptoms, so I wasn't scared at all. I had no fear of what they told me I had. So That's why I think I beat it so quickly because like I had no fear about what was going on in my body because I felt like I was fine.
Okay, so Landon, you blacked out. You know, Isis, your wife is hey, you blacked out. What happened? I'm honestly starting to see how you ended up with this guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so walk me through your process of you get diagnosed. You're in the hospital for days, and you go and talk to the specialist. When do y'all run into each other?
We ran into each other once I started treatment.
Okay.
Yeah, so we basically started treatment right away. And from there, man, we just kept in touch.
Okay. What's that like? What's cancer treatment like?
So our particular treatment for Hodgkin's lymphomas is kind of cut and dry. It's a couple of hours of chemo. The one thing that I wish I had have done was freeze sperm. Because one of the treatments, another exclusive, right? Because one of the medicines literally wipes everything out.
Wow.
And you and I have had the conversation about, me wanting to be a father, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that is where kind of Dre's mindset kind of bounced back on me, right? Because I still have that faith, like, it's going to happen. If I put my mind to it, my body's going to follow whatever mentally I say, right? I just have that kind of willpower mentally right now. But that's one thing I wish I had changed, right? But at the end of the day, I think I made a good decision going with treatment right away because I was able to not let it linger any longer in my body. So that wasn't bad. So I went to Kelsey Sebo. Shout out to Kelsey Sebo for their treatment. Wonderful doctors over there. They were willing to let anybody who I wanted to come by. Had the mayor come by, had Dre come by, the other Dre, superstars come by, so that was love, man. Cancer treatment is about chemo, but it's really not, man. It's absolutely mental, right? Because I've seen people who are willing to give up, and Dre, Hal's talked to him with me. We had a young lady, man, she was literally about to give up. Right. She said, I've gone through this before. I don't want to do it again. I hit Hal up. I said, hey, man, we need to talk to this young lady. She's really willing to commit suicide by not getting treatment. We ended up talking to her, and now she's also coaching other people to get through it. Right. So it's contagious when you have somebody that can push you through it. So just by Dre, talking, sitting with us, man. And he sat with us the whole treatment. He just didn't pop in. It was like, hey, I'm in the NFL, man. I came, I did my part and I'm gonna walk out. No, he literally sat there and spoke with us and chatted with us. And that was so inspiring. So much so that I was able to give it back, give to someone else. And now the ball is continuing to roll, man. And we've created a movement.
So, and I can imagine what you're thinking during a chemotherapy session. You know what I mean? What was at the top of your mind? I got to push through this. I got to push through this. Why? Like, what was keeping you going?
I think family.
Yeah.
And not just like blood family, like people like you and your wife, people like Dre. Dre would always check on me because it literally is hours, bro. It's a slow drip. So you have nothing but time to literally sit there and think about what's going on if you choose to. So you just have to shift your mind. Now, for me, I've always been pretty positive, optimistic guy, strong-willed. I decided to shift it, right? The best way for me to heal was to give to someone else. Same way. I'm all about that, right? I'm all about, someone gives to me, I have to give back to someone else. So we decided just to, I called in a nurse. I said, hey, let me speak to whoever your social worker is, because my wife and I would like to give away boxes for anyone that's newly diagnosed.
Wow.
Because what we saw was everybody wasn't blessed to have a family like this. Some people we saw when I was in the hospital, there was a man, probably no more than mid-30s, taking chemo treatment alone. And that's one of the hardest things you can go through. And I can only imagine going through that alone. So we wanted to just show that, you're not alone in this and that there is a family outside of your own family, even if you don't have one that cares about you. So that's what we decided to do. And that was one of the biggest things that helped me push through, was giving to others.
So if you enjoyed this short segment of the podcast, here's another short segment to watch if you click right here. Or if you want to watch the entire podcast, click over here.